Hey, it's Heather at Adventures in Gardening, and today is the day that I'm going to walk around and evaluate all of my container gardens, my color pots, my color bowls, combination gardens, whatever you want to call them. The big pots that we want to be colorful and beautiful all spring, summer, and fall, those are the ones that we're going to look at today, as well as anything that is growing in a pot around the gardens. Now, here's my relationship with pots in the garden. Now, first of all, I believe in growing as much as I can directly in the ground. Okay, I have gardens everywhere on our property. I believe in feeding the soil and the health of my soil, and the soil always pays me back, okay, with good healthy plants. But there's something about containers in the garden. I think containers end up being the accessories or the jewelry in the garden. They give gardens kind of another dimension and provide like that opportunity to create rooms and to create walls or borders where you didn't have them before. So pots, containers of any kind, are a beautiful addition to a garden. So I have been collecting pottery or containers for decades. Okay, so I've got a lot of containers all over the place, but I'm also a creature of habit, and I end up putting the same things in the pots almost all the time. So if you have any input for me, leave me a comment below. If you have a designer's eye especially, or if you think, hey, you should take that group of pots and put them over here, I would really appreciate any input, because it's just me. It's me in my head doing this thing every year, and a lot of the containers are purposeful. I put them there with that combination on purpose, and I'm going to tell you as I go along if it was a whim or if I had planned it to be that way. But I would love any input that you might have. I am also very frugal, okay? I want to grow as much as I possibly can from seed, because there are so many containers. I will tell you the ones that I spent money on, and I'll tell you the ones that I'll spend money on in the future again. But for the most part, I like to grow things from seed. So that is a whole nother ball of wax, right? Because I think you have to be very strategic when it comes to things grown from seed that are going to grow up really fast and look good in your pots. So we're going to look at the containers, we're going to look at the things that are growing pots, and I also want to show you the greenhouse garden, because it is composed mostly of containers. And I haven't shown it this year, and it's fun. So let's go take a look. So we're going to start right at the very beginning of the front of the house here. I have two really big pots on either side that stay in place all the time, and I try to change them out with the seasons. Now this year, I don't know, so what I wanted for the center was I wanted King Tut. I had a couple pieces of them left over. I didn't think that they were going to grow, but I stuck one in each pot, and then I'm like, oh, I want to do this pink Thunbergia in the center, and it kind of reminds me of one of the Muppets here. It's beautiful, but I have had to trim it back because it just goes all over the place. I have this trade scantia that says, hey, we don't like as much sun as you're giving me here, so I won't be doing that again. And this, by the way, these two pots I will spend the money on and buy the name brand plants. I have 3 sweet potato vines, which I always love sweet potato vines. Do I have 3? No, actually I just have the 2. I've got the tricolor and the lime green, and then the trade scantia and the Thunbergia. I like the sweet potato vines. I'll probably do them again, but I don't think I'll do the Thunbergia again, and definitely not the trade scantia, although I do like that as a plant. So I've got those 2 containers. And they look good. They look good from a distance, right? But I just think I would do them differently. Now let's talk about my hanging baskets. This home does not require big formal hanging baskets. I have 4 of them, 3 on this side and 1 on the other. The mistake, and everything in them is seed grown except for the pansies, and I made the mistake of leaving the pansies inside. They look good from a distance, and that's fine. That's all. I would definitely do the dichondra again. I grew the dichondra from seed. I grew the irisine from the burgundy color vine from seed, but I'll show you what they look like close up. So I wouldn't even mind them if it were just the dichondra in them, but like I said, there are also petunias in there as well. So they just look tired when you get up close to them, and I've been cutting the petunias and the pansies out. A couple of them, the irisine looks super good. This is a really pretty one still. But like I said, we don't really need big, heavy hanging baskets here because there's a lot of background color to the porch. So I probably should just start on this side right here. I've got this, it could be so much more. The lemon ball sedum with a sweet potato vine definitely need height there. It's we walk by it every single day. I don't know what I would put in there for height yet, but this is one that I have spent money on it, and I would spend money for that pot for sure. And over in this little corner, this was just a whim. I had stuff left over. The dahlias are here out of necessity. This is Senior's Hope, and I almost lost it, so I really wanted to baby it this year. So that's why that's here, and then here, and then I have a petunia, a little calibrachoa. So I don't even think I would put pots there again next year, but there they are for now. But really the stars of the show, or the porch, are the coleus. All of my coleus are from cuttings that I have had for years. I keep them as house plants for the winter. And there are actually 3 pots right here. And they look like one. So these are my favorite. I love having them here. I didn't plant them here last year, so I will definitely be doing a repeat, and I even like the color combination. So that is one little set of coleus here, and I have my granddaughter's fairy garden here that they play with a strawberry plant and a little papyrus there, and that'll come. I think I'll bring that inside and put it on the table for the winter. This calicasia is new. I bought that just a little bit ago, but I like having it there against the porch. And I really like this. I have this kind of old tin here that has coleus. This is the cascading coleus. And this begonia that I start from cuttings as well. I just keep one as a house plant, and then I will make them into cuttings. And this I start from seed. This is the sensitive fern here. It's kind of made it mainstream, the sensitive fern. Everyone's seen it by now, but when I was a little girl, it was one of the very first plants that my grandfather, he had a greenhouse, and so I like to keep it on the porch. The kids like it. When guests come, they like it as well. And here's another set of coleus. There are 2 pots here, and I love everything about it. I love how colorful it is against the color of our house. It really stands out. So it's okay that my hanging baskets are a little spindly. This is a fig tree that spent this year here that my friend Heather gave me. And there is a fig. I thought there were 2 figs, but I just see the 1 fig now, but really nice foliage. I've loved having it on the porch this year. And before we leave the front yard, I have one more pot. And this is one that I also bought. And except for the dichondra was started from seed. I have a kufia and I have a red grass, so that kind of stays. Over here you can see it from the other side of the fence. I don't know why I keep this pot here. This is just because that's where I put it initially, so I fill it every year. All right, so on our way to the containers out back, I want to show you my citrus collection because they are in a pot. I love them. They are in this corner. They're protected from heavy winds. This is a ponderosa lemon that I do get lemons off of every year. And then this orange, I just noticed it's time to pick them. These oranges are ready. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 oranges. This was my grandmother's tree, and I have had it for at least 20 something years now. And then this is an Australian finger lime here. And then this is an orange that I've had for a while, another little fig down below. And this is one of my seed-grown lemons. Probably should pull it out of there. This is the time of year where I will go in and prune them and get them ready for winter. Give them one last feed before they come in as well. So I'll give them a little cut back. All right, so this pot is massive and stays here all the time. And I had, early in the season, I was really excited about this pot. This is a fairy garden that just got overgrown. So the part that I like about it is the broken pot in the back with all of the succulents in it and the sedums. And then I plopped in a scented geranium that totally took off. This is my lemon rose scented geranium that I've had for a long time. I've taken cuttings from it, but it has no pizzazz. So it needs height for sure, something higher, which would make me have to take that out, which I really like this. I think that's cute. Too much, there's dichondra. Why is there dichondra in there? I don't know. But I like this pot, and next year I'll try to do something a little bit different. So the pots on either side of the arbor there, I've actually replaced. I should have mentioned this before. Everyone in Connecticut Zone 6 is getting ready to take their containers apart and put mums in them, and I really don't like to do that. I get it. Your containers are tired, they're mature, but we spend so much money and so much time and energy, and this is when they have hit their peak. So I like to just let them finish. So, but I will replace stuff if I have to. So I've replaced these 3 times, and it's just that, whatever was in them got tired. I'll tell you what I wanted to put in them, but it wasn't available for me, is I wanted those lime green cypress trees, and I wasn't able to find them this spring. So, but I really like the papyrus. The papyrus is very nice in it, so I'll keep that. Before we look at the patio, let's go over here. So I have one papyrus in that pot right there. I will probably do this again because in years past I've put petunias in there, but I like to see the green. And in the back corner, I started the season out with tomatoes in here, and the dryer vent just really was not kind to them. So that's purple ball basil that my sister grew from seed that I think is kind of pretty in that pot. I think it needs to have a third one in there. That is King Tut, which I just put in there not too long ago when I took the tomato out. So I don't mind it. This corner probably could have something with more height, something bulkier, I think, in this corner, but I don't know what that is right now. All right, so this is the patio area, and I really like, this is my favorite marigold right here. I really like having this marigold here. It's done really well the entire season. There are some petunias down there that I cut back. There is an orange hat tomato that is giving us some more tomatoes there. I really like that, having that there. I like the height of it in this space in our little living room looking thing. This, however, was just stuff that I had left over, so I really don't even need to have a pot there. It's celosia and some Thai basil in there. So maybe I'll just do the one pot next year with the marigold in it. So the terracotta pots that are here with the elephant ears in them, they overwintered. The elephant ears overwintered in my greenhouse in these pots, and that's why they're shorter than the ones that were out front. And the portulaca self-sowed, so I like it. I don't like having the terracotta pots here. I would like to have concrete instead, and kind of pull everything together. But I like the green. I like that they blow in the wind. I like the feeling of the pots giving kind of like that living room kind of structure to this area. These pots over here were initially put here to keep people walking that way down the stairs and not to walk off the edge. I like having the pots here. I do not like the fact that I let the calendula self-sow. It looks tired. I really do like the dwarf Alberta spruce in each of those with the calibrachoa around it that I do from cuttings. I keep calibrachoa as a house plant, and I like the way that that looks. Maybe I'll do more dwarf Alberta spruce in the two concrete. These two little pots that are right here, they need to be planted in the garden. But I really do like this. I think that's very pretty. And the portulaca that's in there, that just self-sowed by itself. So another elephant ear over here with the papyrus that really needs a bigger pot and maybe some fertilizer. But yeah, I like the way that this looks, but I would rather see concrete planters. So right here along the wall are mirror peppers in pots. And why? Why would I put them in pots? Well, I just like the way that they look. I like the way that they look on this wall too. I like the color. I like the, they're easy to water. They're easy to I just put a stake in them. So I think they look really nice on the wall here. So this container right here is one of those, like it's always been here, and I could leave it here. It's on top of an old well here, an old well cover. And I just threw a bunch of stuff in it. It looked really good early in the season, but right now the Tulsi basil that's in the center, looking a little ragged. The silver shield looks good. The petunias are just there. I don't know. I should probably do something purposeful with this container, this right here, but I don't know what that is quite yet. So turning around where we just came down, I have pots all along my mountain mint. I don't know if you noticed the mountain mint with all of the pollinators on them. There's a lot of activity that goes on here. I call this pollinator alley. But these containers, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They have definitely changed since spring. The ageratum has taken over, and I don't mind it. I don't mind it, not even a single bit. But it had petunias, it had forget-me-nots, and now survival of the fittest, I guess. And here we have ageratum and some silver shield and some dichondra. So that's okay. That is, they still look good, and they're going to look good till the end of the season. So that brings us to the greenhouse garden, and I spend a lot of time in here, and I've got the pots on the outside with the boxwood and the sedum that always look good, but right behind them are other pots, and on the left here is the burr. Oh, I'll put the name on the screen. It's like a cucumber. This thing is so healthy and so vigorous. It is in maybe a 10-inch pot. I know that the roots have gone through the bottom into the actual ground. It does not really like to climb, so I do spend time pushing this up or attaching it up like this. The fruits look like you could use them for self-defense. Okay, are they good? No. I tried. I'm not, you know what, I'm gonna try again. yeah, if anyone out there actually eats these, I would like to hear how you use them, because I don't know. I just don't know. But what a cool plant. It's a cool plant, and it is making it to the top. And on the other side is a plant that is now struggling because the striped cucumber beetle has been over here. See this? And this is a rich sweetness melon, and I'm part of a Facebook group for gardeners, and somebody just said, don't bother with that one. I'm like, oh, come on. I've waited all season for this. Apparently it's not sweet. It does not live up to its name, so we'll be trying something else. I wanted to have a miniature melon or pumpkin or something like that that I could grow on the arbor, because this is where I hang out, and so the grandbabies will hang out here as well. So it's fun. Yeah, the grandbabies hang out here, and I've got this, you know, weapon of with spikes all over it on this side. Good going. But this has been a fun plant to grow. It doesn't seem to mind any of the bugs that want to kill other types of cucumbers, by the way. So the two containers on either side of my greenhouse door are haphazard, to say the least. I came up with this idea that I was going to sell color pots, where I took things, mixed them together, and I had so many left over that I plunked them. I plunked them in here. So I've got some celosia. These are all seed grown, and I know I have forgotten to say that as I went along, but anyway, so this is, yeah, the celosia is all seed grown. The irisine and the silver shield was initially seed grown, and then the second year I took cuttings. These are from cuttings. The calibrachoa, the portulaca was seed grown, and these are a morning glory that have not bloomed yet. I need purpose on these containers because I like to have nice containers wherever I walk. So these are just containers. I've got this big zinnia, you know, that's actually a nice zinnia, and I've got this little zinnia here. But yeah, they're just here this year. That's what they are. They are just here. And on this side, there are some more containers. I've got some coleus here that are new purchases this year. And on my potting bench, I've got some succulents. And then I've got next to this is a utility closet, I have these beautiful coleus and begonia here. So I like having the coleus over here. I think that these are just fine and beautiful. So along this back wall here, I had big ideas when we first did this. I was going to make this be kind of like an outdoor studio seating area, and the soil, I have to keep topping this over the next few years to make the soil, to make there be soil. Yeah, it's very rocky. It's very not nice. So this has become kind of an area that I put containers that I hope you think it looks natural. I like it. Down here is a little fairy garden for the girls. They like to come down here and sit and play, or at least Eleanor does right now. There's a little house. This is Nigella that is done, although there are some flowers here still. I've got these cute little ice cream cone containers with little succulents in them. I really just need to clean this up a little bit. But I've got my huge fig tree that I've had for a long time with some nice looking figs on it. And I've got some marigolds and some statues. Whimsy, that's what I was going for here, is whimsy. A rosemary plant in the back, a jasmine right there, a wreath that I made that has some succulents in it, some begonias, geranium, a butylon that has not bloomed this year, osteospermum that I started from seed. All the zinnias were from seed. This is a white zinnia, more marigolds back there, more celosia, and tamarillo that I grew from seed. I've grown this before. We like the tamarillo plant. This is an orange zinnia, the orange lime, the queen lime orange zinnia. I will show you, I will insert right here some really stunning ones that are in another location that are planted right in the ground. But this is my garden of whimsy. All right, so I think that's it for containers that I have all over the place. I do have a few more houseplants out back, but yeah, I'd love to hear what you think, if you have any suggestions for me. Because right now I'm buying seed for next year. I know I forgot to say as I went along which were seed grown, which were purchased, but most of them are seed grown except for the big pots out front. Anywhere you saw a sweet potato vine, obviously I did not grow that from seed. Yeah, so now's the time to decide how you're going to make improvements if you do container garden for next year, so you can come up with a plan and get what you need. Make a list. Don't go in and you know, just go all willy-nilly and start buying more than you need, because yeah, I mean, that's okay too. But thumbs up if you enjoy spending time with me, and subscribe so you don't miss out on the next adventure in gardening. See you soon.